Here we go, can you believe it? We're on door number 2 now. Where's door number 1 gone? That's like a distant memory. Of course, it was just yesterday. You can go back and watch the reveal of door number 1 across on my Facebook or, of course, on YouTube. It's entirely up to yourself. But this one is all about door number 2. I wonder what can be behind said door. There is only one way for us to find out when it comes to our Christmas Advent calendar, and that is to dive straight in, see what it is, and let's see what we can make. So let's go all the way in. We're going to dive straight in to see what is behind door number 2. Let's open it up. Let's dive all the way in. What I am going to do is let's zoom out that little bit more. So let's go, oh, here we go. Door number 2, all the way in on the right hand side. So let's go and open number 2. I'm going to be careful only because that's just like the way that I like to open it. I know some of you will dive straight in and tear it open. So let's see, we've got, ooh, we have got a real sizable intricate snowflake. That's going to work well as a standalone, or it's going to work well with any of your winter collections, or it's going to complement all your snowflakes that you may have. But as it stands, we are going to be using it as a standalone element. So we're going to be making a small slimline card. Thinking of the cards that we're going to be making, we're going to be posting at Christmas time, and of course just keeping that cost down that little bit more. So what are we going to do? Let's go in with our card blank. So I'm just going to zoom out first of all, and we are going to go in with a slim line. Now you can create your own card blanks. I do have a large card blank here, and I'm going to trim it myself using my guillotine. So what I'm then going to do is bring in our guillotine. I've got it so that the fold is at the top here. So I've got my top fold. What I'm then going to do is I'm going to create my card blank. So coming in at that top fold, I'm going to come in at 3 3/4. No, I'm not. I'm going to come down to 3 1/4. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it around. We're going to trim that at 6 1/4. So that's 3 1/4 by 6 1/4. That's going to give me my top fold slimline card. Of course, you would be able to use it that way as well, which is up to yourself. So what I'm then going to do is I'm going to bring in some card. I'm going to bring in some navy cardstock. But first of all, if you've seen the reveal of yesterday, which you probably did if you're watching the second one, do you remember I also opened door number 24? Because what I want to do is I want to show you how the paper pad that is behind door number 24 is going to work and complement with many of the cards and projects that we're going to be doing throughout December. So I have already got the paper pad. We did open it with door number 1 yesterday. Although we didn't use it with door number 1, we're going to be using it for door number 2. So we do have our full 6x6 paper pad. So let me come in a little bit closer here, because we've got sheets of sentiments that are going to work for all throughout the year. But you've got your Christmas, you've got your autumn tones, you've got your summer tones, as well as your spring tones, all the way through, all single-sided, but you've got a full delight of different patterns when it comes to the paper pad. So we are, of course, going to go in with a Christmas design. So let's go in with that snowflake. So you do get, is it 2 of each sheet, I believe? Yes, it is, 2 of each sheet. So let's go in with our snowflake, and that's why I've gone in with this navy. So what we can then do is take our navy cardstock. I'm going to neaten this slightly because I don't think it's quite straight. So what we can then do is we're going to cut this one to 2.5 inches. There. And then we're going to cut that at 5 1/2. We can see here. So then that's going to give me a really nice sizable matting layer all the way round. But then what we need to do is we need to create a panel as well with our pattern paper. So what we're going to do is come down 1/4 inch. So we're going to go at 2 1/4, and then we're going to go 5 1/4, and that one can sit over the top just like that. So let's set that one all out the way for the time being. Let's pop all that out the way, and then what we're going to do is we're going to come in with our little snowflake. So I'm going to use a combination of white cardstock and also this navy blue. So let's run it through. So what I'm going to do is we are going to do 3 in the blue and then 3 in the white. And just so that you know, the white is our multi-purpose cardstock. So let's just make sure I'm being quite stingy on my navy cardstock. Or should that be frugal? So let's run that one through and pop that one out. And then we can do the same into here. Always have a look at your die cut pieces, because what is waste could be a really good stencil that you can see here, but as it is, we're not going to be using it as a stencil. Then let's go in with some of our multi-purpose cardstock. I'm going to make sure as well that I've got no little bits sticking in the dies. We're going to run that one through. And then what we're also going to do is we're going to take our edge crimpler. Now if it's not quite cut, what you can do is feed it back in, and then just make sure, because my plate or my folder is well used. So I'm just going to give it a run through it a couple of times. I want to make sure that's all popped out for now, which it has done. I think the edges are all cut, so we can carefully prise that one open. Any of these little bits of the snowflakes, we're just going to be extra careful. Then we're going to do that one again. So let's take our snowflake. We're going to feed that one in. Now these are all going to work with the mini, of course, hence why I am using it. But still nothing stopping you from using either your bigger Geminis, or you can of course go in and use other branded machines if you so wish. What I am going to do, without having to go digging, let's have a look. Have I got a mini folder to hand? Oh, I do. Not often that happens. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a new mini folder. I'm not going to waste that bit that I have started to cut. What I've done is made sure that it's still back into position, and then we're going to cut what I've just done, and then let's make sure that is now all cut perfectly, which it has. So let's do one last time. So flip and rotate my folder. I'm just going to go through, cut that one so it's all perfectly cut, and then I'm going to take a moment or two, make sure all of these little bits have come out. Now these bits you can be using your die release tool if you want to, but there's not that many that, if I've got time, I'm more than happy to sit and pop them all out. So let's go and pop them out. I've not pre-prepped any bits to use for my lives or my videos. It's all about, when it comes to the advent calendar, doing it all in front of your eyes. I do, of course, know what I'm doing this year, but none of it is prepped ready. So work your way around, making sure they're all out. Being careful because there's some intricate pieces. Let's pop these bits out. If you love to paper piece like I do, now I wouldn't necessarily be going and paper piecing all the tiny ends of the snowflakes, but within that centre bit here, these are a lovely little bit that you could be paper piecing onto. So there's that one, and then let's take these last few bits out when it comes to the white, because what we will be doing is we'll be doing a drop shadow, but two of the snowflakes will be blue with a white drop shadow, and then one of them is going to be white with a blue drop shadow. You can then follow on suit with that one, or what you can do is mix and match and change it if you want. So there is my white ones. Let's go in, let's take the blue, we're going to do the same. Let's pop all these little bits out, taking our time. These ones are coming out. This bit I find very therapeutic, especially if I'm not in any rush. I'm going to take my time to pop them out until they're all done, like so. So that's our 6 snowflakes in total, 3 in white, 3 in navy blue. Let's move that to the side for now. I'm going to take a very quick drink. And then let's go in with our edge crimpler, edge distressor, edge ripper, whatever you like to call it. And then what we're going to do is we are going to distress the edge. So we want to get the edge so that the edges are nice, they're distressed, they're fluffy. We're going to then give it a roll back and forwards, holding in with your finger and your thumb to secure it. Don't worry if you bend or buckle your cardstock, because it will flatten with the adhesive. We're going to go in, work our way round to the bottom, and then we are going to do something with the edges. You could absolutely leave them as they are, because what you'll see is the distressed white fibrous edges will work against your navy cardstock. So if I bring that one in, you can see there. But what I am going to do, let's bring in, I'll use this bit as scrap, and then I'm going to go in, and what I am going to do is I'm going to put some glue. This is just tacky glue. I'm going to do it on my glass mat. You can see here. Now you could use a little sponge or that. My skin's not sensitive to any glue, so I'm just going to pop my finger in, and then I'm just going to scrape along the edges like so. So between scraping and dabbing, what we can then do is add that on. We're can always add a wee bit more if needed, and of course that excess will just wipe off or peel off when it comes to your glass mat. So let's work our way, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with some glitter, whatever glitter you've got within your stash. This is a silver glitter. It's unopened as well, brand new. So let's go, let's see. Let's have a fight with the adhesive tape. There we go. And then what I'm going to do is let's sprinkle some. Now I'm going to do it all the way around, but before the tacky glue sets, what I'm doing is I'm just going to do 2 corners at once. Then we're going to tip that in like so, and then we've got a nice glittery edge that we can see. So let's take that excess for now. Oh, missed. Right, let's create our own little spatula, and let's go in. We've got 2 little bits. There we go. Let's just scrape. We'll just scrape that excess to the side for now, and then let's go back in again. So I'm going to add tacky glue to my glass mat. The foam from your water reactive blending ink pads, that would work. You could do that. The other one that you could use as well is of course your sticky glue from your Gildan Flakes. That would also work. But in case you don't have the Gildan Flakes set, or the Stay Sticky glue, then a nice alternative is your tacky glue. So let's work it all the way around. We can see here. Let's go in, and then we're going to sprinkle our glitter on. So let's pop that on. Let's pop that on, and then let's give a rub to any excess that's still in place. We've got our glittery edge. It looks a lovely glittery edge, so it looks nice with the distressed white edge, but adding that little piece of silver glitter, of whichever colour you wish to use. What I'm going to do is let's move that out the way just for a moment. Let's take all that glue off my fingers, and we can, let's just take that glue off of here. Get tidy as we're going. It's not something that I always do, but I certainly do it when it comes to glitter. Last thing I like is any excess glitter all over the place while you're still trying to craft away. So there we go, nice and clean, ready for the next bit. What I am going to do is let's just dry that off for now. Nice dry, and then we can start to layer this up together. So let's do our drop shadow. So if I bring in our snowflakes once again, so we're going to bring them in. So we're going to have one that has, well, 2 are going to be blue with a white drop shadow, and then we're going to have 1 that's going to be white with a blue drop shadow. So let's go in, let's add, I'm going to use tacky glue for this. If you're going to use your dotty tape runner or your spray, go for it, it's going to work. Let's add a little bit. I think the glue is going to run out in a moment. So then layer up with a drop. So let's turn it to the side. And then with the tacky glue, you've got a little bit of wiggle time to move it in. So let's drop it to the side, like so. Move that one down. If we can prise that one open, we can do that. And then there we go. We've got our snowflake with the blue drop shadow. So this one, because that glue is starting to run out, let's go in with my dots. Because it's really, really fine, what I'm going to do is start in the middle and pull outwards. And then it just means that you're not going to tear any of the edges when it comes to your snowflake. So we're going to do exactly the same, but this time the blue is going on the top. Let's line that one up that little bit better. So drop shadow down ever so slightly. And there we go. Perfect. So we've got our blue with our white drop shadow, and then we can do the same with this one. So that's 6 in total. So that was 3 in our white multi-purpose, and then that was 3 in a navy blue. So we're going to take that one, careful not to tear it, and then pop that one over. Let's get that one straight. Let's pop that one in. Drop shadow to the side, and there we go. There is our 3 snowflakes with the drop shadow. So I'm going to set that up above in front. We can then go on, we can do a matte and layer with our card. So let's go back. Let's go in, and then what I am going to do is let's zoom out so you can see it that little bit better. I'm going to go in with my tape runner. Put these all around the edge. Layering it on. Get that into position. Now this equally would be a really good tag. If it wasn't a card blank, then the tag forum would work really, really well. And instead of doing 3 drop shadows with your snowflake, you could simply maybe just do 1 with a sentiment, or you could even make this shallower with a sentiment. So let's press that into place. And then what I am going to do, if I bring these ones in, I'm going to go in with little 5mm by 5mm foam pads. So let's take 5mm by 5mm. I'm going to pop them on the back like so. And then you can take a gem or a pearl to hide the centre. Not that you really see the snowflake or the centre of the snowflake, but if you do, we can hide that. That was that way, and then that was that way. So positioning it into place first, so I can get a rough idea as to where I want them to go. So happy with that one. So pop that one there, there, and then I'm going to go in with the centre one first. So if I pop that one into here, press, I'm not putting any adhesives around the edge of the snowflake because I want that free flowing look. Let's add that one on into here, press that one on, and then we're going to do the same with this one. That one can go down into here. Let's press that in. Now, as lovely as it is that way, it could go that way if you wanted to. No problem whatsoever. I am going to keep it that way though. And then you can put little gems or pearls in the middle to hide. What I'm going to do, so if you remember the die that I love to use, so many of you have got this. Originally came with the Gemini Mini. We've had it in so many goodie bags and mystery bags, so I know lots of you have already got this. So what I'm going to do is let's take the die, and I only want some of the little circles. It's not the floral that I want, just some of the little circles. So let's run this through. So it's seeing what else we can use in our Crafter's Companion stash. Although I know many will have gems and pearls that you can use. So because we've got 2 of the blue, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that one can go in the centre of the blue here. And do I want a different sized one, or do I want them all the same? So have a play. I think I'm going to have them all the same. So let's take another piece. I'm not going to cut the whole lot. I'm only going to cut where that circle is that I want. I can run that one through. And then we'll do the same with the blue. So let's pop that one into here. So let's move that. Let's take a little bit of blue. That can go in our centre snowflake. Run it in. And I am going to add a little bit of shape to these. So let's take that one. Let's move it out of the way. So that can all go into the middle there. Now remember when I say about shaping them, you could use, if I just reach over and get it, you can absolutely use your foam mat that you got with your ball tools, but for me when it comes to shaping card or paper, it's just a little bit too dense, it's a bit too soft. So what I like to do is I like to take my stamping mat, I'll turn it over onto the back, and then I'll do this in the bottom corner, because the last thing you want to do is do what I'm away to do in the middle of your stamping mat, and then what will happen is then you'll make it all uneven. So any future stamping just means, oh gosh, what a lot of light there, just means it's all going to be uneven. So therefore, turn it over, select a little area down at the back and the bottom, and then all that I'm going to do is add a little bit of shape with one of my ball tools. We're going to go in, adding a little bit of shape to my ball tools, and then the same down at the bottom here, add a little shape. So you can see how I've left an indent there. Now if I was to do that on the front, on the opposite side, that's going to affect all future stamping, which I don't want. So doing it onto the back. So then what we're going to do once again is we're going to go in, let's take these, I'm going to go in with another foam pad, because I want the centre of my snowflakes to be high. But what will also happen is the curvature from the circle of the die cut, let's just take that one off, is going to hide the pad. So if you're ever concerned about seeing the pads, adding a bit of shape will hide that. The other option is glue gel, to whatever you prefer. Let's take that, oh, let's see if I can get a hold of it, there we go. And then let's pop that one into there. Let's pop that one into there. And then last but by no means least, because I'm not adding a sentiment, you can, but I'm not. There we go. We've got our cute little 6 1/4 by 3 1/4 card with a snowflake. Distress the edge with some glitter and drop shadow when it comes to the snowflake. So we've got 6 snowflakes, 3 in white multi-purpose card, 3 in a navy blue, and then we have used our floral bouquet die set that originally came with the Gemini Mini to do 3 little circles and pop them into the middle. Snowflake layered on a foam pad in the centre has also been layered onto a foam pad, which creates your top full card. So there we go. There is project number 2 from, would you believe it, door number 2 of our Crafters Companion Advent Calendar. I really hope you enjoyed that one as well. Stay tuned, because on door 3 we might just open door number 3 when it comes to our Advent Calendar, and we'll see what we can make with that one. We'll see you later. Bye.